सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble pranams at his lotus feet. Leader of our bhajan group, that is this FallsChurch bhajan group, Mr. Ernie, requested me to do this honor of welcoming you all and also doing the introductions. Thus, on behalf of FallsChurch Sai group, let me welcome you all for this Samarpan occasion. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Sheela Nayak, our Sheela Aunty. Many of you already know her. She has been involved with Sai movement for more than 4 decades. She came into Swami's fold in early 1970s and has been very actively involved in numerous Sai activities in this region and beyond. Swami has blessed her with many interviews and interactions and further guided her to undertake seva activities in USA as well as in India. Today is a very special occasion because we are having this first Samarpan talk in this region. We are really thankful and grateful to Sheela Aunty for accepting our request to relate her long-standing Sai experiences through this Samarpan talk. I'm sure this is a very fascinating and inspiring opportunity and blessing for all of us present here today. So without further ado, I will now request Sheela Aunty to talk about her experiences. Sai Ram Aunty.
Sai Ram, everyone. It's a very beautiful journey, but very tough to talk about, because then you basically are sharing with everybody all your experiences. The outline I've been given is the historical development of this region. Actually US, because our center was the first one in US. Then personal experiences and how Baba is guided in the service world. That's the outline I've been given. So, 1972, my husband was between 2 jobs, and he said, I'll take care of the kids, you go see your parents. So I was going to India. And a friend, American friend called Dee, had always said, next time you go to India, I want to come with you. So I called her, she was in California, and I said, want to come? And she said, yes. And she flew over from California. We went together to my hometown to see my parents, and that's Hubli. Okay, Hubli is a city between Bombay and Bangalore, exactly halfway in between. We had been out of India for almost really more than 11 years by then. And during my absence, my one sister had become a doctor. So you need something to talk, right? When you first meet somebody who's grown up, kind of a thing. I used to work with children, and I had to get a TB test every single year. And those of you who know what it is, it's not, something you really like doing. So I thought, okay, let me ask this doctor sister of mine. So I asked her, any suggestions? I have to go through this TB test. And she said, let's go see Swami. I said, Swami? No, I'm asking doctors. She said, no, let's go. Okay. The whole atmosphere in my home had changed when I got there. There was a big, full picture, almost like this, of Baba's in the hallway. And in the background is some chanting and something going on a cassette recorder non-stop. Okay, that was not the home I had left, okay? I mean, it was like any other homes. So I asked my friend, shall we go? And she said, yes, if everybody wants to go, let's go. So we are heading for Parthi now. My parents, 3 sisters, and one of them is here today, and my brother, and my parents, of course, and Dee and me. We're heading to Parthi. Drive, and we're not reaching there at all. All these guys started conking off. And so I thought, I'm going to keep my brother awake. So I'm chatting with him. Something or the other, I don't even know what I'm chatting with, because our age difference is substantial. And finally, I conked off. And then in a minute, in my sleep, somebody's telling me, turn left. And I woke up. And my brother tells me, I think I'm lost. This is past midnight, okay? And all that muddy road and everything else. And I said, that's funny. That's how I woke up. Somebody's telling me, turn left. He said, I was supposed to turn left. So we turned around and went back. And sure enough, on a big rock, there was a sign pointing to the left that you have to go to Parthi. So we went that way. We got to Parthi. They gave us the only shed they had in those days. And we had to share it, of course, with everybody. Then we have to take a bath. The bath was outside in the village with tarp on 4 sides, and you're in the middle, you're taking a bath. And then come for darshan. That's what they had told us we had to do, so we did that. We come inside the mandir. It was all sand, okay, at that time. Coming inside, Baba comes out. Okay, haven't even sat down yet. And he looks at me and goes, I didn't know what that meant. Just a sign of some type. The volunteer leader said, go, Ma, go. I said, go where? He's calling you for an interview, she said. I haven't applied for a job. She didn't understand what I was saying. So she said, go, Ma, go. So I started going, didn't know really what I'm doing. And we are entering the interview room there. Without even sitting, okay, which means you can tell we know nothing. Okay. And this intelligent person, I told my friend Dee, I said, let's keep a close eye on his sleeves, okay? I hear he materializes things. And she said, okay. We are friends, right? So we are the 2 closest to the door of the entry. And he comes in, and he looks at me smilingly, teasingly, puts his arm between the 2 of us, and moves his sleeve up like this, materializes vibhuti, and gives it to me only. Okay. Now, you are, of course, a little embarrassed, but, you don't know what to say or what to do or anything. So then he talked to my friend and said some very personal things that nobody would have known. Nobody. I happen to know because we're best friends. And then, she also kept standing and looking at us. Next comes my turn, because we are the closest to the door. He asked me, what do you want? The only thing we were doing was we had come here for our education, and we had completed, and we were in the process of returning to India. So I thought, okay, let me tell him that, because I didn't know what else to say. I said, we are in the process of returning to India. And he said, no, 5 years, he showed with his hands, okay? 5 years, East will be like West, West will be like East. Stay there. He said, I can't even say yes, because there were some things that had already been done. Okay, one was out of my mother's bank account, she had withdrawn, what do they call that, demand draft of 5,000 rupees from her bank account. And the only thing we had was our books from our college days, didn't have anything else. That we had already shipped. And what was very interesting was that 5,000 never came out of her account. A demand draft never came out of her account, and our books, I don't know where it disappeared. Somehow it never reached here, never came back to us. So that's the first 72. Now, my sister also gave me a book to read, and after going back, I read the book and all that, and it was like a itching, what in the world was all that about, kind of a thing. So 1976, my dry cough was gone. No more TB test after that. Okay, that was actually the more powerful thing for me. It was like, I'd gone through doctors and everything else, nothing had worked, and here, no more. Okay. 76. Our younger son was 12 years old. I asked him, will you come with me? Will you go to Parthi? So just him and me. Okay, 76, we go to Parthi, and I was a third generation asthma patient. My grandfather had asthma all his life, and he died, after living a full life. Then my dad, same story, and I was the only one amongst our family that had inherited that asthma. And about once a quarter, I would get really bad asthma. And we reached Parthi, and I got my worst asthma attack. My husband is a big picture-taking man, forever. He had just bought a movie camera. And he said, okay, whoever this guy is, why don't you take his picture first, and then we'll use it at large. And I said, okay. He showed me what to do, put it on the shoulder. It's like a monster in those days, not your little ones now, okay? And he showed me how to do that. And I reached Parthi, but I got the worst asthma attack when I got there. And I said, I better not go for the darshan line, because the breathing sound is bad for an asthma patient. So I'm standing outside with that thing on my shoulder, just looking, and all I can see is Baba standing there, thinking, what is this funny place? I can't seem to, go beyond this. So I moved it. He's standing right there in front of me, and he goes like this. Okay, that's my last asthma attack. I've never had, from the time I was born until then, I had about once a quarter. Now finished. I'm, kind of stuck type of thing. Because two major, I have several other health-related stories, but I'm not going to share that. Now, in between, I had gone for my sister's wedding, and that time my mom said, you are our oldest daughter. We want to come stay with you. You just can't just take us. You have to take everybody. Your other sisters and your brother also. Everybody you have to take, she said. I said, okay. I came back. And we had not applied for citizenship or anything until then. And we went ahead and applied for citizenship and put in for everybody. Whoever wants to come can come. But we did our application. My parents and the doctor's sister's wedding where I had gone for, and her husband is also a doctor, and those four came to US. Late 76. Late 76, they came. Now, our lifestyle was Friday night, a couple of glasses of wine, then we go to a movie. Saturday night, we go bowling. Now, my parents are there. Can I have my wine? Can I go bowling, leaving them at home? And movies, they're not movie type people. So, okay, no movies. Okay, so let's see what we can do. And they had come with the first Sai Center address. And what was very interesting is that is the first Sai Center in US. I didn't know anything about it, but they came with the address. So I told them, I'll take you there, I'll introduce you, but I'm not going to stay there, okay? And they said, that's fine, just, as long as we're comfortable there. So they take us to the first Sai Center here, Bethesda. The Sai Center was very different, okay? It's not like it is today, but in those days. And the president was more like my father's age. He wouldn't let me go. I said, where are you going? Wait, okay? So just to please him, not for anything else to do. I'm there. He wouldn't let me go. So every time I go there, I'm there. Then one day he asks me, Amma, why is your name Kamath and your parents, why is your name Nayak and your parents' name Kamath? I said, because I'm married. He said, married? Where's your husband? He said, you're too young, Amma, too young. Where is he? He said, I said, he's in Kuwait. Why? Because he didn't like any job opportunities that came up here. No, not good. You're too young. He said, what do you do? He said, bring his CV. We'll put it at Swami's feet and we'll do bhajan. And I said, okay. I'm doing everything to please the center president, okay? Nothing to do with Baba, nothing to do with anything. And he called me that morning and reminded me, don't forget, you're bringing the CV. I said, okay. I took the CV to please him. He puts it at Baba's feet and the bhajans go on. And you won't believe this. NIH calls. And the guy wants to talk to him. I said, he's not here. Who's this calling? He gives his name and says, oh, I'm leaving. I want him to work here. I still didn't believe it, okay? And I told him, he used to call every day. And I told him, he said, oh, we'll see. Then again, the guy calls and says, when is he coming? I said, February 4th or something. I said, no, this is December now. He said, okay, tell him I want to see him as soon as he comes. And as soon as he came during their holidays, I said, this guy wants to see you, and I'm not letting you go. I'm coming too, because I don't believe this kind of silly stuff. But I'll sit in the car, but I'm coming. And he said, okay. We went. When he came out, itself from his eyes I could tell. And I said, what happened? He said, he asked me, when can I start? And I said, what did you say? I said, I can start next week. Now he has a car that was paid for in Kuwait, all the things in his apartment there. And he said, I am not going back, he said. I said, okay, great, I'm happy. So he stayed here. But his love is music, right? So now we go into the center every single time because he can sing. And there's all kinds of music, everything else going on there. My love has always been only service. It really is never into music and all that kind of a thing. So one end this, one end that. Now we are in the center. Pretty soon we found out, very close by, another center had started. So he said, why don't we go there also and see what it is like? And I said, okay. So now we're going to 2 centers. Okay. Before too long, what was it? Fairfax, right? Fairfax Center started. And in between that, Baltimore started. And the Baltimore people asked the same question, will you come? He said, as long as it doesn't conflict with this, because we are coming here they said, okay, we'll start on Saturday. So Baltimore started. Now we've got these 2 Bethesda centers, now Baltimore Center, now Fairfax Center, then, of course, quite a bit later, Loudon. And in between, people from, I can't even tell you where, Buffalo, inviting, we want to start a center, will you come, just for the opening kind of a thing. So we said, okay. So we're going all over the place. This center started, that center started. Now, supposedly, our center, when it started, Baba sent Indulal Shah to do the opening with the pictures. One Baba's picture, one Shirdi picture. And that's how the bhajans were running. Okay, now, bottom line is we're basically stuck to the center, hearing about what Baba says, who says, what, where, when, how, kind of style. Then I asked our center president, Dr. Pani, I don't understand how this thing works. Will you take us to Parthi so we can have some understanding of how it all goes? And he said, yes, Amma, everybody is always asking me, if you are willing to put a group together, I will take you all. And I said, okay, putting a group together is no big deal. So, put whoever called him, he said, yes, call her. She's putting 34 people, okay, 1981 now. And we're heading for Parthi. Dr. Pani had the idea, there were 3 of us with boys about the same age. He asked Baba, Swami, will you perform their thread ceremony? 3 of them, okay, 3 boys. And Baba said, no, this is not the right time. And Dr. Pani had signed me up for a first SSC conference that has ever been done. And I said, why did you sign me? I wanted to be in the darshan line. Why you signed me up for that one? No, ma, no, you go there, I said. And you know what? The whole time of the conference, which is 2 full days, okay, Baba was in the conference. He wasn't here in the darshan line. So this endless complaining person that I want that. So I always thought what was the right thing, but he's teaching me again and again and again and again that that's not the right thing. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You see, no wine, no movies, all Baba's activities, and I suddenly realized what time is it now? Oh, 5 years. East will be like West. It is 5 years. It is become like East in my home. Okay? It is no more like the West in any form or shape. So suddenly it hit me. That was the turning point for my head. Okay, we all need something or the other, that turns the key. Pretty soon, I think a lot of you already know Subrao, came to US, and he was totally into bhajans, and Ramesh and him, just together, always bhajan, whole weekend, bhajan is going on. And, so we went on our first trip with him, 1983 now. It was Subrao, Ramesh, and me, and a lady from our center called Rita. 4 of us went, and Baba called us, and he explained about his life without anybody asking anything, okay? He explained a lot about Subrao's life, almost, I would say, 25 minutes, talked in the interview room, okay? Now, as we're coming out, Rita says, Swami didn't really talk to us at all today, did he? You see, whoever is meant to hear gets to hear what he's saying. Whoever is not meant to hear doesn't get to hear, because it was about his personal life. that Baba was telling some things about. And obviously, it probably had no meaning for Rita to hear about it. Probably it had some meaning for us to hear about it. I have no idea. I'm just guessing again, okay? So, 83 was the next. Then, our next group, next trip was 85. And in 85, when what happened was, see, the main mandir, we were not allowed to enter because it was too crowded and everything else. We're called foreigners, okay? Even though I tried to convince them I'm not a foreigner, I was born here and all, but you know. But we were allowed to go in at meditation time. And that was only after bhajan in the evening. So the bhajans are finished. I used to run to enter the mandir. And that day I ran, and the volunteer put her hand blocking me. She said, Amma, wait until everybody comes out. They come out the other door. I said, okay. So I'm waiting, and everybody came out the other door, and everybody ran in. And me, who was the first person there, couldn't go. And I cried. Okay. I said, I was the first one here. You didn't let me go. Amma, you saw how people pushed and they went in. I'm sorry. And don't cry. Swami doesn't like you to cry. I said, yes, but he didn't let me go in, right? You know, always defending yourself for various things. So, you know, went back to my room. And see, Subrao and I worked together. And what he had was a habit of writing all the questions connected to work and whatever. He used to write the questions on paper and give it to me. And when I went to the room, I sat there and tore that thing. He's not going to call us, unnecessarily. We're doing all this writing and all this business. Next morning, of course, he has to call, right? Very next morning, he calls, and exactly like this, okay? He says, what? Why you cry so much? He said, I don't know what to say, okay. And then he systematically answered the questions that were on the paper. A few he ignored. Maybe they were not meant to be answered, but he answered majority of the questions. Then, let's see, what else have I written? Okay, 1986, our son and my brother went to Parthi. Now, they hadn't said anything to Baba. Baba called him and asked him, you want me to do your thread ceremony? Now, the kid was born in Boston. Raised here, we had never seen a single thread ceremony, didn't know what it meant, nothing. And he said, yes, because he was excited. So then Baba called them in, and then a volunteer person to come in and showed, there is a man outside from UK hiding a camera. Tell him to come in, take a picture for his parents. See, because we are not even there. So the volunteer goes out and, asks, are you hiding a camera? Maybe, I don't know if he asked, are you from UK? However he asked, but he did bring that guy in. And Baba told him, take a picture for his parents. So he went over with them at everything, took a picture, and I didn't even think we will get a picture, from UK, where we're going to get it. But sure enough, we got the picture. Okay, then what? 1985 itself. He said, bring group to me, all right? My immediate thought is, that requires dealing with people. I'm not a very people-oriented person, okay? Not a very social creature. And so I thought, how am I going to do this? And immediately Subrao said, I've always wanted to do it. So let me do it. I'll do the organizing. he said. And I said, okay, fine. Makes life easy, right? So he started. Now, 87 was the first group we took. And, we used to rent a minivan from Bangalore to Parthi because we have so many people to fill in the van. We get there. As we are getting down, there is a lady standing there. And she said, can I join the group? Now, we thought, who are we to judge? Who is to join, who is not to join? So we said, okay. So she also joined. So all of us, and Baba called us. And it was very loving, very everything. And then we were very high, okay. After the interview, we are coming out, and the volunteer leader is running, trying to catching me, because she doesn't know who else to catch, She catch me. She said, go get the girl from your group. I said, what happened? She's not leaving. She's in the interview room. All of us had left, okay? She's in the interview room, and her point is, I have a question. I'm not leaving until he answers. So she's sitting there. They don't know how to take her out other than, physically. So they came running looking for me. And I went in, got her. Not that I knew her or anything. Just we had met her the day before and pulled her out. And said, come on. Okay, we got to go. Having done that, they came up with a new rule. Now, you cannot have only a man leader. You need a woman leader as well. So, in other words, Baba wanted me to do that job, lead groups. So now I have to be the leader for the group, women's side, and Subra was the leader for the men's side. In other words, when he gives you responsibility, gives you a job, there is a reason behind it. You don't know. You're so busy, analyzing your own way. I thought, I'm a terrible person. I don't want to do this kind of a thing. Okay, then comes 1998. We got the group all ready to go. And at the last minute, my husband tells me, I can't come. I said, why? He said, my back is hurting. I don't think I can sit in the plane that long. I said, why don't you come? We can get pillows or something. You can lay down. Nothing. No. He wouldn't come. I said, I can't get out at this point. There is barely 2-3 days left. How will I get out? And he said, no, you go. It's okay. You go. He said, now we go there to Parthi. Baba calls, and he asked me, husband? And I said, Baba, he had backache. He couldn't sit in the plane that long. He says, work. I said, no, I'm busy still defending me, okay? I said, no, Baba, his back was bothering him. And he said, no, work. He said, others will give him a belt. Swami will give him prasad. He said, and he materialized some vibhuti and gave it to me for him. Now, we had a very nice trip. He called us again and all that kind of thing. And we came back. He came to the airport. My husband came to the airport to pick me up. So I asked him, how was, the time, that 12 days or whatever, that I was gone. He said, see, what happened is somebody in our department, head of the department, was leaving. He asked me, can you be the acting director of that section? And I didn't have a choice, so I said yes. I said, oh, really? And I didn't get a chance to tell him what Baba had said yes, okay, yet. And then he said, and also, when you were gone, I got so bored, so I went for a retreat in Toronto. Okay. I said, by the time we reached home. And I go into our bedroom, and there on our bed is a big black thing. I said, what is that? He said, oh, you know, when I went to Toronto, they gave me a belt. See, Baba had said, others will give him belt. Swami will give him prasad. So he had materialized vibhuti and given. So then, of course, at that time I told him that Baba had said that it was your work, that you were reason for which you didn't come. Okay. I forgot to tell you that crying, you know, that endless crying. I was a silly person growing up. You know, I'm not very fond of Indian food. Okay. So I had trouble with the idli sambars and dosa chutneys and all that kind of thing. So it was endless crying at home. And suddenly the crying stopped after Baba said, why you cry so much and all that. Okay. Then 2005, Baba gave him an opportunity to do a music program. He has two loves. One is science, one is music. Okay. Baba gave him opportunities for both. A science conference and a music performance there. Unplanned, okay? Okay. The music performance was done, and then Baba called only the women for and everybody was so excited. They're pushing and everything. And as they're pushing, you know, to move in, he said, no pushing, no pushing. Then looks at me and says, not you. Then they're all shouting. Okay, because they want the first word to be theirs, whatever they want to say to Baba. He said, ladies, shouting. He looks at me and says, not you. Then they were very emotional and they were all crying. And he says, ladies, washerless tap, crying. Not you anymore. See, so precise. Not you anymore. Okay. Oh, this is a general one. 9/11 had happened, and we had a trip planned fairly soon after that. And there was an American young man in our group, and he said, Swami, we feel we are helping the world. Why did this happen to us? And it is Baba's answer that I feel you would like to hear at least. He said, it was scheduled. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. It's a very beautiful country. It's a very blessed country, he said. So, of course, everybody was peaceful after that. But, you know, it was a very emotional time. Those of you who were here know that. Okay. I'm going to stop there as far as trip-by-trip explanations that I've been giving. Now I want to say a few things about the lessons I've learned. Okay, what is my time? Okay. Everybody in the center, or wherever we are going, whichever center, they call them Swami. Okay, so in public, I'm also doing the right thing. Swami this, Swami that, Swami says, all of that. But in my mind, I'm always saying, Baba, what do I do with this? Baba, how do I handle this? That's my style of talking to him. Okay. When we were in Parthi, one of the trips, I haven't said a word yet. I'm not somebody who says a whole lot, okay? I wait until he says something. He looks at me and he goes, ba, 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 ba. What? I realized I was playing a double game. See, playing something different with everybody else. And in my own mind, it was always ba, 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 that style. And that has been a very big lesson for me, is playing double games type of concept. Now that one, there was another one connected to that This is even more embarrassing, okay? One of the things we used to do was because a large number of the group was Westerners when we went on trips. And if they're not Westerners, they would be, somebody from Vietnam or somebody like that. Not people who knew a lot about India and all that kind of thing. So we used to have field trips for them. Visited the hospital, of course, the planetarium and museum and all that. Field trips. And this field trip was to the Kalpavruksha. And we were told, just as we were going, that you can make one wish under the tree and it comes true. So we told the whole group, okay, we're going on a field trip. There you can make one wish and it'll come true. And we go there, and every evening we used to have meetings for the group, so they can share what happened, didn't happen, what they know, that kind of thing. And in that night meeting, Subraj says his one wish was, we were in a major car accident about 20 years ago, very bad. And I suffered both knee pain very badly, very, very badly. And he said, even at that time I had the knee pain, okay? He said, I prayed for your knees. Now there's a whole group of our people, okay? And I said, really? Here's a man with so many problems of his own, and he's praying for my knees? It just seemed different. So anyway, finished. And next morning he asks me, Subrao now, asks me, how's the knees? I gave a little lie, okay? I said, can you believe it? It is gone. No, it was not true, okay? Then after a little while, it is true, one knee pain went. But by then, the men had gone on men's side, women had, we had gone on our side, and Baba called us. And he's showing he knows everything, okay? We haven't said one word. We walked in, he taps on both his own knees and asks me, now, what am I going to say? I have made a big lie, number one, and I don't want to lie to Baba. So I didn't know what to say, so I'm keeping quiet, okay, just going. But from my face itself, I'm sure anybody could tell that I was very bothered. But as I said, what had happened was one knee pain had gone, and only one knee pain was there. And I'm talking about bad pain, okay, it is not minor kind of a thing. So then Baba knocks only on that knee, of his own, the one that there was pain on. He goes again, like this. And I went like this, at least I'm telling the truth kind of a thing. And you won't believe that is the last day, after 20 years of suffering, the knee pain. It was all gone. And at night, when we had our regular meeting, I shared with everybody what a big liar I was, and that how Baba helped. I want to defend it, but I don't want to go any further on that one. Okay, then, another big lesson, big lesson, is he came in my dream. I'm not somebody who dreams a whole lot. He came in my dream and said, no, I want and I don't want. What I give you is the best. Flow with life and enjoy it. Okay. Now, I don't get very many dreams, so I quickly got up from my bed and went to my desk and wrote it all down. No, I want and I don't want. What I give you is the best. Flow with life and enjoy it. And of course, we had a trip planned fairly soon after that too. And he called and he talked and he said, I told you in your dream, I came in your dream 30 days ago. Precisely, okay? Now, of course, interviews are always fantastic, but my mind was still, is it real 30 days? Is it real 30 days? I'm waiting to get back to my room to look at the date and the notes I had written and everything else. Sure enough, when I come to my room, it was exactly 30 days that the dream was. See, the lesson in that one is, I always thought, he says, put a limit on your desires. I thought desires meant I want. I thought that's what desire was. And I am an endless I don't want person. I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want that. Forever is going on. I cannot think of anything that I want. That's how my life had been up until then. And suddenly it was like a slap, loving slap, okay? Where he's telling me that is also desire. When you so strongly don't want something, that is a desire. That's what I felt he was teaching me, because really, really that was a big thing in my life, is I don't want. So I started watching my behavior after that in terms of, I want or I don't want, There's so many I don't wants, I can't even tell you. It always has been like that. Okay, another very big one I learned. Okay, let's say we had gone in January, and Baba talked, and very, very nice. Everything had gone on beautifully. Came back. I hadn't even put my things away yet. And our son, who was in Parthi, calls. It was February. He calls and he says, Mom, Swami said he's waiting for you. I said, what do you mean? I just got back. I haven't even put my passport away. And he said, Mom, don't ask me. I don't know. That's what he said. I said, okay. What do you say to this? So then I asked my husband, what do you think? He said, let's go. He's calling us again. There must be some reason. So I said, okay. I had so much work piled up that, okay. So we went. Baba called. He was very loving, very sweet, but nothing that I would have to think. I'm thinking, what is it? You called and nothing. When I came back, I realized, I don't know, maybe you people would guess something like that. Would you think that if you are called over there, the purpose was for you not to be here? You would have, good. You people, of course I'm sure you're ahead of me, but I never thought of it that way. I always thought if he calls, he's calling, so that we are there. I did not think it was that we had to be out of here. When I came back, I work with a lot of attorneys, okay? When I came back, there was a message on the recorder from an attorney. He had called 3 different times with something or the other. He didn't say what, but he said, call me, and I'm not here. If I was here, I would have called. When I came back, I saw all that, let me call now. Let me see what it is. I called. Somebody I had been doing some deal with had died. And if I was here, it would have been chaotic. The fact that he was not able to reach me, he tried one time, couldn't reach me. Tried second time, couldn't reach me. Third time, he couldn't reach me. So they went ahead and took care of it. And that was the best way it could be taken care of. If I was here, it would have gone a different way. See, that is not something I ever think of. When let's say I'm here, I'm thinking, this is what I'm coming for. I don't think it's because I have to get out of my house. So that was another big lesson for me, is that he is in charge, but on a different scale than how I'm thinking. Of course, it is, very different. All right. Oh, the 1992 now. Just thought it had been a long time since we've left India. It's 20 years. So whatever he said doesn't necessarily mean it's forever that way. So I had to talk to somebody about, something I could get into, and that my husband could start working there. So we were going to move to Bangalore. All the arrangements had been made. We hadn't actually paid anything, but talk-wise, everything had been done. If you can believe it, of all the trips, that is the only trip. If I'm sitting here, he would go there. If I'm sitting there, he will go that side. Wouldn't even look at me. What is the lesson? You want to do what you want to do, do it. That's how I felt he was telling me. Is I told you not to come back. You make all the arrangements, then you're waiting for my blessing. That's how I felt he was, dealing with me on. So that was it. That closed that chapter completely. No more India. And obviously I'm not the right person for it. So that was one. Okay, the last one in terms of the super big lessons. For me, they're all very big, okay? I'm sure for you people it's probably. All right. The last lesson was fun, but 2003, there was a rumor Baba's going to Koday. And when he called, I said, Baba, there is a rumor you're going to Koday. He kept quiet. And then I said, can we come? He said, it's expensive. I said, yes, can we come? He said, yes, I'll give you residence. Okay. Now, we immediately booked a cab kind of a thing and started heading towards Koday. He couldn't come because he had a recording to do and all that. All the excitement, he said come and all that. But after I got into the thing, I realized that whole group depends on me, and all the signs are in a different language I can't even read. Okay? I don't know what language that Koday... Tamil. Okay, everything was in Tamil. And I can't even guess that level of not understand. And this whole group is dependent on me. Okay, okay, he's going to have to take care of everything now and all that. So we reach Koday, and the driver was a Muslim guy, and he said, very difficult to find anything in Koday at this weather. It's so popular. Everybody comes there and all that. Now, in addition, he said, when the word gets out that Swami is coming, you can't get anything, he said. So I said, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, he said he'll give us residence, so we won't worry about it. It's so beautiful, I'll tell you. We're driving, and, each one of say they're full, full. And one is under construction. Okay, so I told him, stop, let me run in and see what they have to say. He said, well, it's under construction. I said, that's okay, let me go see. Go in. And the manager was sitting there, and I asked him, I think we need 9 rooms. Yeah, we need 9 rooms. Do you have any possibility of anything? He said, we have not opened yet, but you need 9 rooms? Okay, we'll do it. Brand new rooms. And then he said, since we are not even opened, we don't have a set menu for breakfast, lunch, or anything. So you tell me what you people want, and we'll have it ready for you. I mean, can you beat that residence concept. He had given us a fantastic residence. It was fantastic, the residence, and then we go for darshan. And of course, when he came out, he stopped there as though he was shocked to see us kind of style, just fun type, and talked outside only. He didn't call us for an interview or anything. All right, that I think ends my general learning and everything. Do I have a few minutes for service? Okay. All right. As I said, that service is my love. Okay, music is his. And what I used to do was gleaning. We were in Oregon, we were students. You know what is gleaning, right? Okay. So I used to do gleaning on my own. And then there's a second thing is I used to give a ride to anybody, everybody on the road. Okay. So, most people were shocked, horrified, or whatever you want to call it. But I just felt like doing it. So I gave anybody, everybody ride. So those were the only two real areas of service that I did on a one-on-one basis. Then, when we were in Parthi and Baba said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to start an orphanage." He said, "No, do vocational training," he said. I said, "Okay, fine." Then, went back and started looking into all that. It wasn't happening. Next trip, again, when he called, I said, "Baba, you said it is not falling in place at all." He said, "Bring a project report," he said. So I came back and I thought, no problem, I can write a project report and all. But you see, unless you know where you're going to do it, are you doing it in India, are you doing it US? Where are you doing it? You can't write a project report like that. So again, time went by, and again, next trip, and there again, I brought it up to him, and he said, "Where you are, there are many poor people. Start." He went very strong. I said, okay. When I came back, I started flipping through. I'm very antique, okay? I go through newspapers only. I'm not in this computer world. So the newspapers, I'd look up to see what are the volunteer opportunities close by to my house. And the one that was advertising that they badly needed volunteers was Goodwill. And I called them. And I said, "When do you need it? When do you?" And they said, they gave me the time. I said, "The only other request is I like to know what all you do, and that way how we can fit into more than what you're asking for." They said, sure, no problem. Went there to look for the project, look for the volunteering, but I don't know, maybe you all know, but I didn't know. No. Do you know what Goodwill does? Okay. Goodwill is vocational training. I never knew that. I thought it was only things that they sell. You give away your, outgrown things or whatever, and they sell them. But they sell them and use the money to train like disabled type people, okay, people with problems. I got so excited when I saw that. I felt that's what Baba was telling. So got started on that one. And then, see, what happened by then is that whatever I get started in, I would bring it back to the center, the word would get out, right then the Gujarat earthquake had happened, and a lot of clothes had been collected, and some politics, and it didn't go. So they called and asked me, do you have any use for it? So I said, don't know, let me see. We had a group again planned, and I put the word out to the people, "Are you all willing to take your second piece of luggage in service?" Because in those days, 2 pieces of luggage were allowed. Everybody said yes, every single person. So it is like 34 suitcases full. I said, I will pack. You don't have to worry about it. But you do have to open and be very sure. Because, one of the questions is, did anybody else give you the luggage? And everybody agreed. So we practically took all the clothes. Now, it's one thing to get all excited about all this. The thought wasn't there, what are we going to do when we reach India? We're always a rush. So, Baba handles everything so beautifully. Subra's daughter had come to the airport to meet us and all that. And I asked her that question, any ideas? She said, well, I can take it to the orphanage here and find out. And I said, okay, will you? And she said, yes. So she took all the bags, went to the orphanage, and distributed those clothes. But as you're distributing, conversation starts, right? So the conversation was, what are you doing? What do you plan on doing? What is your thoughts? All of that for these orphans that were in that orphanage. And there was nothing. So she got back and she said, shall we get them into training and all that to work in different... I said, yes, absolutely yes. So we wrote all the project and thing, and Baba came immediately and took it that time, and that got started. Girls, these are of course girls not even graduating from high school or anything. So every place they are like aides. They're not the main people, but at least they have jobs, they have money coming in, and they can stand on their own feet, right? Over 4 years, we were able to get 161 girls out of the orphanage, standing on their own feet. It makes you so happy when you feel you made some difference in somebody's life. 161 girls, okay. But Baba's outline, he starts something and he stops also. Okay? Maybe it would have gone in the wrong direction. Maybe something, we have no idea. One day, one of the trips, he came up to me and he said, no more. Stop. I said, Baba, all this, stop. We had to stop. Now that stop kind of a thing, he did one other time also. The Haiti project. The Haiti project, all the doctors went, we gathered all the materials and everything else, and we got a chance the following time when we went to Parthi to show him exactly what had been done and everything. And suddenly he said, stop, in December. So, stopped. So there is a starting point and there is an ending point, but that's all his. It's not ours. And there is a reason behind it, but we don't know what it is. Okay. In terms of service, I'll just say this one. Remember I said I have the habit of saying no. I had been pulled in for various roles within the region, and I had been saying no. Then the regional president calls. He picks up the phone. I'm out that day for something. And, our Indian men, they get a little embarrassed just to ask for the wife and not explain what is going on, kind of a thing. So he went into great explanation. I called to ask her if she'll take on the service coordinator's role for this region. And my husband tells him, the answer is yes, I will tell her when she comes home. So when I came home, he told me, so what do you do? We had a trip planned to Parthi again. And I thought, let me see what Papa has to say. And I told Papa, this is the largest region in US in terms of the number of centers. And it goes all the way from Buffalo to Virginia Beach. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yes, a title is nice, but what do you do within that title? So beautifully, he looks at me and he says, "You and I will work together." Now, the maximum time anybody has a role is 4 years. First 2 years and one more time 2 years. So total 4 years. Mine, because Baba's 80th birthday came in the middle, ended up being 5 years. And in 5 years, everything went beautifully. You know, any time you take on a title, you get, you know, hammered, right, over something or the other. I didn't get anything. So obviously he was doing all the work, and everything went very, very beautifully. The seva parts, a couple of times what he brought up is that man is given time, money, and energy. Put a limit on it for your personal use. Use the excess in service, he said. And as soon as coming back, I used to think, okay, 24 hours, so 8 hours of service, 8 hours this thing, 8 hours. No, it may be 2 days a week or 4 days a week, you know, that kind of. You keep on analyzing, but his outline is the way it falls in place, and it's beautiful, whatever it is. Then the orphanage is we completed, stopped. Haiti completed, stopped. Then he's coming every day talking to me about nursing. Nursing in, nursing out, nursing in, nursing out. Literally 30 times in one trip, he talked to me about nursing. I'm totally lost. I have not even known one nurse in my life. Okay, and there was a lady sitting next to me, one down, and she said, "Are you a doctor?" I said, "No." And she said, "Are you head of nursing or something?" I said, "No." She said, "Why does he talk to you so much about nursing?" And don't ask me. I said, "Ask him." Literally, that's how you feel, because you don't have the answer. Okay? And not only that, he's sending messages through others. The nursing in Andhra Pradesh is hard. Karnataka is easy. So they call me from there and say, "Swami said," you know, very lost in terms of what does it mean. Having said all that, can you believe it? It all fell in place. You don't know who comes from where, when, you know, I don't have time, otherwise I would have gone into details as how unbelievable it is when he wills it. It's just that you have to be ready when he wills it. And for me, it has always been in the service world. The other one he said in terms of service to the group is stay in balance. He said the service should start at home. Whatever you do, are you doing it for the other person? Now next one is exactly what Baba said, okay? He said, the wife cooks dahi vada. Does she cook because he wants to eat, her husband wants to eat it, or because she wants to eat it? That's how your life should be, he said. Always thinking about the other people. Okay, my time is up, so I'm going to end on love, because that's what Baba's outline is, right? There's no way to describe it, but in my limited way, I will tell you. He had called 3 other couples and us for the interview. Each one of those couples had come from another country. One had done a very elaborate work at the planetarium. Another one, very elaborate work at museum, like that. All the 3 had done something. We hadn't done a thing. And Baba talked to them in great detail about what they had done and everything else. And then he went into the side room and brought 3 saris for the women and something for the men. I don't remember what it was for the men, and gave it to them. And then he looks at me and goes, "Now, I haven't done a thing there, okay? But I wanted the sari. Not because it's a sari, but because he is giving it, right?" So I went. And he went inside, got one more sari, threw it in my lap. It's very loving way. Okay. I'll give one more love story, and then we'll end. My sister said, as a group leader, you get to go inside and sit at his feet. We don't get to sit at his feet, so today you come last, she said. She's sitting here, so she remembers, I'm sure. And that was true. Because as a group leader, you're supposed to enter first, you're supposed to exit last. Okay, so I thought, yeah, it's very true. So I didn't go in, okay. And when Baba came and he went like this, I said, let them go in first, kind of a thing. And he didn't say anything. Everybody went in. I was the last person by the door, okay. And when he sat down, he looks at me like this and he says, "Is your ears pierced?" I said, "Yes." Now I have to come from there. How close you think I will be now? Closer than I ever would have been, because everybody else is sitting properly. Now I have to be even closer than that, right? So I'm right there, so close. And he says, "Take off your earrings." And I'm not a big jewelry person, so I never used to wear earrings normally, but for going to Parthi I would wear. So that I had put on some earrings. And I'm shaking because I'm so close to him, and then the earring broke. Okay. And Baba gave it to Ashima, you remember? He gave it to one of the people in the group, said, "You hold this one earring." The other one, he put it on my ear. Okay? And he said, "See the love, okay? When you go to Bombay, get a chain. This is too heavy for your ears. Don't wear it here. Too much jealousies." Okay? Now I said, okay. So, but you see, the interesting thing is, when I go to Bombay to get it, my brother-in-law is a jeweler. And we are only between flights. We are going to catch the evening flight to return here. And we get there in the morning. So, that much preciseness with which he had said. And so I said, okay, so I got the earrings, and these are the earrings. For somebody who never even wore earrings, you can imagine the size of it. He says, "Too heavy for your ears," he said. So anyway, what do you feel in all that? The extreme love he shows for all of us. It's when, are we there to feel it? Are we there to enjoy it? Are we there to, experience it? Very, very loving. Now, why am I wearing it today? Because he asked me. Following time, I was not wearing it, because he had said too much jealousies, and I thought it meant I'm not supposed to wear it and all that kind of thing. When I say, he asked me, "When do you wear it?" So I don't know. So I said, "Navratri, Shivratri, your birthday." Something that came out of my mouth. It wasn't really necessarily real. But of course, now I wear it. Navratri, Shivratri, his birthday. But today I felt, I'm supposed to wear it. So. Thank you all for making me relive this excitement that I myself feel.
Thank you, Swami, for blessing us with these wonderful experiences and speech by Sheela Aunty. I'm sure everyone here must have really enjoyed it. And thank you, Sheela Aunty, for graciously accepting our invitation to talk about your experiences. I thank you, all of you here, present here, and especially Mr. Kutumba Lanka. He has come all the way from New Jersey to record this Samarpan talk so that it will benefit people who couldn't be here today, because he's going to upload it on the YouTube as well as on Sai website, right? So thank you once again, Sheela Aunty, and thank you, Kutumba. Now I request Ernie to present a small token of love from FallsChurch Sai group to Sheela Aunty. And also I request Ram Naresh to present it to Mr. Kutumba Lanka. Thank you.
गणेश चरणं परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं सद्गुरु चरणौ परम पावनौ सत्य सायिनौ गजाननौ सद्गुरु चरणौ परम पावनौ सत्य सायिनौ गजाननौ भवभयहरणौ परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं भवभयहरणौ परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं सद्गुरु चरणौ परम पावनौ सत्य सायिनौ गजाननौ भवभयहरणौ परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परम पावनं सत्य सायिनं गजाननं गणेशचरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननम्
गुरुदेव प्रियदेव साई देव दयामय
गुरुदेवा प्रियदेवा साई देवा दयामय
गुरुदेव प्रियदेव साई देव दयामय
गुरुदेवा प्रियदेवा साई देवा दयामय
विभूति सुंदर शशांक शेखर विभूति सुंदर शशांक शेखर साई शंकर दया करो
साई शंकर दया करो
साई शंकर दया करो
साई शंकर दया करो
गुरुदेव प्रियदेव साई देव दयामय
गुरुदेवा प्रियदेवा साई देवा दयामय
गोकुल नंदन साई गोपाल
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाल
रघुकुल भूषण साई रामा
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
गुरुदेव प्रियदेव साई देव दयामय
गुरुदेवा प्रियदेवा साई देवा दयामय
गोकुल नंदन साई गोपाल
गोकुलनंदन साई गोपाल
रघुकुल भूषण साई रामा
रघुकुलभूषण साई रामा
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
हे मदनांतक दया करो
गुरुदेव प्रियदेव साई देव दयामय स्वामी सत्य साई
भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक पार्थी महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवं मह्यं तयुर्वे स्वामी मह्यं तयुर्वे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयन ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप जय शिव साई महादेव सत्य साई महादेव मंगल आरती अंद
అందుకు మంగళ హారతి అందుకు మంగళగిరిధారి ఓం జయ జగదీశ హరే నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం ఓం జయ సద్గురుదేవా నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం ఓం జయ సద్గురుదేవా నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం ఓం జై సద్గురుదేవా ఓం శాంతి 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 సమస్తలోకా సుఖినో భవంతు సమస్తలోకా సుఖినో భవంతు సమస్తలోకా సుఖినో భవంతు ఓం శాంతి 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूति परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूति इदमाश्रयामि बाबा विभूति idamaśrayami sacredness miraculous Baba's creation flowing from his blessing hand holy creation granting us the greatest wealth God's divine protection beloved Baba grant us liberation beloved Baba grant us liberation paramam pavitram Baba vibhuti paramam vichitram leela vibhuti paramartha ishtartha moksha pradhanam Baba vibhuti idamashrayami Baba vibhuti idamaśrayami Om